Madam District Attorney Sandra Doorley and Sheriff Todd Baxter. On October 21st, I sent you a Freedom of Information Law document that compels you to disclose the salaries you pay to every public employee at Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Application for access to records, Freedom of Information Law. I hereby apply to inspect any copy filing records, quote, the public employee payroll for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County Jail. That's it. For you, Sheriff Baxter. Application for access to records, Freedom of Information Law. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of filing records, the public employee payroll for the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. That's it. You have it. Send your public employee payroll to my home address at 26 Sanders Farm Drive in Penfield, or my email at cchichester4@gmail.com, and you will refuse because you're above the law in Monroe County. Your entire repulsive, nauseating, corrupt existence is because of the taxpayers of Monroe County and the state of New York. Taxpayers sustain your corrupt and nauseating existence, and I demand to know what you pay every single public employee at your Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County District Attorney's Office to abridge my civil and constitutional rights. Sheriff Baxter, you also received Freedom of Information Law document from me. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of filing records. The cost of taxpayers of Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter has expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits for failure to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I demand to know what your work environment is at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Specifically, if your male employees are sexually harassing your female employees. And if that has happened, have you expended taxpayer dollars to settle litigational lawsuits? Because based on my experience with your fanatics, I believe that they're sexually harassing the female employees at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Application for access to records, Freedom of Information Law. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. Cost of a surveillance device, purchased with taxpayer dollars and affixed to a building at 2025 Penfield Road to monitor Christopher Chichester, 26 Sanders Farm Drive, walks through the parking lot next to the building. Surveillance device, camera. You bought it, you put it on that building to see if I walk through the parking lot next to the building, and that's it right there. That's the camera. This is the lunatic fringe. So when I describe the lunatic fringe of you expending taxpayer dollars to put a camera on a building to see if I walk through the parking lot, it's your lunatic fringe. I'm describing what you have done. That's what I'm doing. I'm reporting what you have done. So when I tell you what you have done with a surveillance device and a camera, this is your pathetic, disgusting, disgraceful existence. It has nothing to do with any decision I made. And when CIA Director Mike Pompeo uses the phrase surveillance device, he's also talking about a surveillance device, camera, and I was on it. And the image of me standing in the corner of the parking lot to tell this toothless loser grass cutter, I was outside for 30 seconds, that Nayraj and Layla Kumar Shah don't own the land alongside my house. And then I was outside for 30 seconds. And that image of me being outside for 30 seconds was on the phone of your public employee at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office when your 6 public employees descended on me. And this is after you empowered a civilian, Steve Desmond, of Bracolo Tree and Lawn Care, to come to my residence. And this is after you're telling a civilian, Elliot Roth, that this device has been installed. Because Roth says to me, you're going to be arrested. So a civilian Roth knows you're going to descend on me. And then you're using a civilian, Steve Desmond from Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care, to get you here to my residence. I have civil and constitutional rights. And you're using civilians to abridge them. Application for access to records, Freedom of Information Law. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain, and copy the following records. The names and charges of every inmate at Monroe County Jail from January 1, 2018 to December 31, 2018. What is not to understand about that, Sheriff Todd Baxter, party switching fraud? Tell me. You send me a list of everyone at your jail in 2018. Because I want to talk to these people about why they're there, and I want to know what their experience was. Because that jail is a criminal enterprise run by your criminal employees. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain, and copy the following records. The cost for a trip to Atlanta, Georgia for a hotel and boarding for Monroe County Sheriff employee Ryan Fisher to attend the Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia with his canine dog Lola on February 3rd, 2019. That's your public employee, Ryan Fisher. And he was standing outside Mercedes-Benz Stadium with this dog, Lola. Why are you sending a public employee from your office out of Monroe County, out of New York State, 1,000+ miles away to Atlanta, Georgia? And I know you'll say it was a trip sponsored by the Department of Homeland Security or something along those lines. Well, you know what you do? Then you tell the Department of Homeland Security, Ryan Fisher can't make it because he's based in Monroe County, because he's in New York, and we're not sending him to Atlanta. We're not sending him on a junket. You, Todd Baxter, are at an apex of corruption where it's impossible for you to recognize corruption. You cannot recognize corruption because you are corrupt. And I'll give you an example of how you hire corruption and how you have corruption right there next to you. It's your double dipper hack, Michael Radler. Because Michael Radler was a Monroe County Sheriff employee for 20 years, and then he retired. And then he was rehired by you as an assistant. So he's got 2 paychecks from the bank of Todd Baxter. And I have him right here. Double dipper Michael Radler. Why are you collecting 2 paychecks, Michael Radler? Because you're being paid off by Todd Baxter in a sleazy and unethical way. You're being paid off, Michael Radler. There's no way around that fact. So, excuse me, Todd. I must tell you how much I admire your official portrait that you have in your office at 130 South Plymouth Avenue. And this official portrait of you, I'd like to know if Norman Rockwell painted it. Because here we have it right here. Here's your official portrait. There you are. There, Todd, you see? Now, you're in your civilian uniform now. You're not in your Monroe County whack job suit. All right, then, you're deep in thought here, Todd, with your forehead like a drive-in movie theater. And then, you know what you're thinking here, Todd? You're thinking, how can I abridge the civil and constitutional rights of innocent Chris Chichester at 26 Sanders Farm Drive in Penfield? Next time I'll be braver. I'll be my own savior. So we have the party switching frauds, Sandra Doorley and Todd Baxter. So you, Todd, were a Republican and then you became a Democrat. Why? Well, the question answers itself. Because you'll say anything and do anything in the pursuit of power. So, Todd, I'd like to know, since you're a party switching fraud, because I got one team. I've been a Mets fan since 1972. And that's my team. And you know what I didn't do, Todd? I didn't suddenly wake up and decide that the Yankees are going to be my team. All right? Because I got one team. It's my New York Mets right here. You got that? I'm going to show you my New York Mets with the 2 World Series championships here. In 1960, that's my team, Todd the Fascist Stooge. Party switching fraud. All right? I don't got 2 favorite teams like you. All right? You got that? I got one favorite team. Now, Todd the Fascist Stooge. My team in the NFL is the Jets. You understand that, Todd the Fascist Stooge? I don't have 2 favorite teams. I'm not rooting for the Giants and the Jets, party switching fraud, Todd Baxter, on Sunday. All right? And you know, when the Jets, they have not won the Super Bowl since January 1969 when they beat the Colts in that epic game in Super Bowl III with the great Hall of Famer Joe Namath leading them to victory. All right? And he did guarantee that. He guaranteed it, Joe. Joe guaranteed it for all of us here, all us Jets fans. So anyway, well, the Jets have had some lean years and have not won the Super Bowl in 50 years. In another 54 years, I say we since I'm on the team, we're going to be the Boston Red Sox. And then the Giants, of course, have multiple Super Bowl championships. And I just didn't wake up one day and decide the Giants are now my team. Forget about those Jets. The Giants are my team. They're going to be my forever team because the Giants are winners, and forget about those Jets. I didn't do that, Todd the Fascist Stooge. So, excuse me, Todd. How is the official beverage of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? And Sandra, how is the official beverage of the Monroe County District Attorney's Office? I asked you both here because I have your official beverage here. Here it is right here at your Jonestown. All right? Now, this is cherry. And what flavors do you have there at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office where you're sucking down your Kool-Aid every day to violate the civil and constitutional of innocent New Yorkers like me? I mean, what are the flavors you have there? Did you got grape there? Did you got orange there? Did you got tangerine there? Did you got party switching whack job there? I mean, what are the flavors there in your Kool-Aid, huh? You know, let me know. Send me an email. You know where you can reach me. So, excuse me, Madam District Attorney Doorley. I must admire your second profession as an actress because you were in a film that has received critical acclaim. And I have the poster of the film right here. Here it is. This is you in your film, Fatal Attraction. Now, you, Madam District Attorney, starred in this film. This is starring Michael Douglas and Sandra Doorley. And you're playing yourself, Madam District Attorney, right here in Fatal Attraction. All right? And I have a picture of you here, Madam District Attorney. Here you are in Fatal Attraction when you're stalking Michael Douglas like a whack job. So here you are, Madam District Attorney. There you are. There you are in your nightgown. Look at the look on your face there. I mean, what's going on there with the look on your face? I mean, that you're really, really angry there. I mean, you're thinking, impure thoughts here. You're thinking how to stalk people all over New York State, Monroe County. What's going on with you, Madam District Attorney? And, I'm very concerned about you too, Madam District Attorney, because you need to stay away from bunny rabbits, all right? See, look at this cute little guy. Now, you got a thing about boiling bunny rabbits, all right? So you got to stay away from bunny rabbits, Sandra Doorley. Do you understand me, Sandra, sweetheart? Don't get anywhere near a cute little guy like this guy. Look at that adorable face there, Madam District. So you need to stay away from bunny rabbits, Madam District Attorney Sandra Doorley. All right? And you, Todd, I have a picture of you of your uniform here. And I must say, Todd, this is you looking just magnificent here in your uniform. I got to show you. Here you are, Todd. There you are in your uniform. And, I love that helmet you got on there with your big eyes there. And what's on the top of your helmet? Is that a broom? And you got your big shoes on there. I mean, that's really quite something. Your hands out there. You're saying to yourself there, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. I'm a whack job here. And you got your little skirt there, your green skirt. I mean, what's going on there at 130 South Plymouth Avenue, Todd? With this freak show here. So Todd, I'm very concerned about you there with that official portrait of yourself. Did Aaron Schickler do that for you? So, and here you are again, Todd, in your Mars exploration rover here. You see, there you are with your salute. You're saluting there like that. You got like an angry look on your face. You're standing there again with your big shoes. All right, then you look at you must be having a bad day with that angry look on your face here. Your Mars exploration rover. All right, Todd. Now, I'm very concerned about where you think you live, Todd, because here you are saying this would never happen on Mars. And that this would never happen on Mars because you live on Mars, Todd the fascist stooge. So, anyway, now, Todd, I'd like to know what the hell your deputy whack jobs are doing. Because, when I see them at your Wegmans Food Market's headquarters at 2157 Penfield Road, I noticed that your deputy whack jobs have weight problems. What the hell is going on with your deputy whack jobs with these weight problems? When I was in the Army, you had the PT test, you did the 2-mile run, the push-ups and sit-ups, and you had to do a certain time, a certain amount of push-ups and sit-ups, or you were flagged. And when you were flagged, you were a non-soldier, you couldn't travel, you couldn't get promoted, you couldn't get an award. You really couldn't do anything, and it was just pathetic. And by the way, part of my job was to flag people. I had to do that paperwork. So anyway, Todd, now your deputy whack jobs are packing on the pounds. Why? Because when they're hanging out on the side of your Wegmans Food Market's headquarters, you're obsessed with being at that building. And that's because they're eating too many Twinkies here at your Wegmans Food Market's headquarters, Todd the fascist stooge. That's why your deputy whack jobs have these weight problems. And what happens if a deputy whack job has to run after a criminal, Todd? A real criminal, not me. And he's overweight, and he's overweight because he's eating these Twinkies here, Todd. Do you understand me, Twinkies, Baxter? So you need to tell your deputy whack jobs to lay off these Twinkies. You got that? So, and I understand why your deputy whack jobs are eating, because they go into your Wegmans Food Market's headquarters. I saw one there returning his cans in uniform. So I'd like to know what the hell he's doing returning his cans in uniform. He desperately needed that 85 cents, of course. Well, I know why your deputy whack jobs are buying this product, because they fall for this advertising here. I'm going to point to this advertising here with the appropriate finger for you, Sheriff Baxter. This is a golden sponge cake with creamy filling. You see? Golden sponge cake with creamy filling. Now, when you're in tremendous shape like me, you can eat a whole box of these Twinkies and be just fine. But your deputy whack jobs with the weight problems, you got to tell your deputy whack jobs to lay off these Twinkies. And you, Todd, the fascist dudes, are eating too many Twinkies too, because I seen you, and you need to lose weight, Todd. You got that? So now, Todd, I'd like to read to you from a correspondence that you received from me, and this was on May 12th. I addressed it here. Todd paid Baxter, Sheriff Rockridge. So I got your address right at Rockridge. So, and I sent this to you on May 12th, and I'm telling you about your descent on my life and the way your whack jobs behave. And when I use language like fanatics and extremists and nauseating and disgusting, this is a perfect reason why. Pay attention to this next language, Todd the fascist stooge. I walked my Shih Tzu on the land behind my house for 7 years. I adopted my wonderful little guy from Lollipop Farm Humane Society. You must establish character to adopt. It includes an interview. One day, the window opens for the Shaw Law Firm. A woman is screaming at me. I don't understand a word from this lunatic because of the distance. 1 hour later, 2 of your Monroe County Sheriff's vehicles are at my house with 3 of your fascist stooges outside. A 3rd vehicle's here. It is the animal control officer. He has a pole in his hand with a noose on it. Yes, a noose. My wonderful little guy weighs 12 pounds. Is this animal control officer planning to wrap that noose around his neck? That is what I am thinking, because my wonderful little guy is not a wild animal. It is a vicious confrontation. I told you fascist stooges I would have to be killed to surrender my wonderful little guy. This confrontation is witnessed by 2 of my neighbors. My neighbors can now verify your disgusting, appalling existence in Monroe County. I'm walking my wonderful little guy the same way I have for 7 years, 4,000 times on that land that Nairaj and Layla Kumar Shah don't own and can't prove they own because they don't have the documentation. So they don't come over here to my residence and say, we own that land. I own that land. They don't do that at all. They just pick up the phone and call you. And then you're here in less than an hour to seize my dog? What country do you live in, Todd Baxter? Where is the United States of America on a map, Todd Baxter? Have you read the United States Constitution? Have you read the Declaration of Independence? Have you read the Federalist Papers, particularly number 10? I'm walking my dog the same way for 7 years, 4,000 times. And you descend on my residence because of one phone call and one woman opening up a window and screaming at me? And you want to seize my dog? This is what you're doing here in Monroe County? Excuse me, Todd and Sandra. I must inform you that there's an Amtrak train heading east from Buffalo right now, and there's an Amtrak train heading west from Syracuse. And these two trains will collide in Rochester. And you both can understand this event happening because you're both train wrecks, baby. So, a Freedom of Information law document is the weaponization of information. And that's what I'm using upon you. That's how I'm descending upon you. And here it is. That's a foil. So, where's your public employee payroll, Todd Baxter? Where is your public employee payroll, Sandra Doorley? I saw your lawn signs again today on Penfield Road. Re-elect Sandra Doorley. You are a corrupt hack, and you will win re-election. And it's a disgrace. Your prosecutor stood there in Penfield Town Court and said not one word as I stood in front of John P. Lomenzo as an innocent man. I have never committed a crime. Not one word. I look over at her, and I'm waiting for her argument. Because when she says something that's inaccurate, I'm going to interrupt her. And I'm waiting. I look over at her like this, and she says nothing. She says nothing because I'm not guilty of any crime, and I have never committed a crime. And the proceeding is brought to an end, and John Lomenzo, this sickening, vile, nauseating, disgusting, appalling, hate-consumed, pathetic excuse for a human being, brings the proceeding to an end. And he orders the Monroe County Sheriff's Deputy Whack Job Andrew Reale to arrest me. Or he colluded with Andrew Reale, and that's the word, colluded, to arrest me. How do I go to jail when I'm not guilty of any crime? I haven't committed a crime. Your prosecutor, Sandra Doorley, doesn't say anything. And then Todd Baxter's employee, Andrew Reale, in concert with John Lomenzo, decide that I'm going to be arrested. And Reale later tells me, we decided to arrest you before you got there. This is justice in Havana, Cuba. This is justice in Pyongyang, North Korea. We decided to arrest you before you got there. This is what he tells me. And he knows how I'm charged. So. You're going to hear from me every day with the Freedom of Information law that demands your public employee payroll. And every single time, you will refuse to disclose your public employee payroll. And the reason why you both refuse to disclose your public employee payroll is you know that the salaries of your public employees at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County District Attorney's Office will create an anger, a rage, a backlash in Monroe County. And you don't want that political maelstrom to occur. You want to do everything possible to avoid that. Your entire existence is taxpayer dollars. Without those taxpayer dollars, You have the same power to abridge my civil and constitutional rights as a teenage cashier at the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters of Sheriff Todd Baxter.